Hey, hello and welcome back. So in the other video, we made sure that we have configured our Nginx correctly. You can see now we can be able to load our front end here, but you can see even if we are loading front end here, we cannot be able to see something like banner here and many other things. And that's first of all because we had encountered an error in the previous video whereby we could not be able to connect to a database. So from now, I want to start by trying to connect to my database or running my backend so that it can also connect to the database. And then after that, we are going to continue with the rest of the steps. So you can see also here, I'm running this application in incognito here. And this is because on my normal browser here, you can see I have my normal browser here. If I come and copy this IP address and try to at least run it again here. So let me copy my IP address there and try to load here. You can see that it's not loading, and I think this is because of cache issues. So you need to clear caches if you, for example, come across this problem. But for me, because I don't want to clear my cache, I'm opening it using incognito. So that's all. Let's get into the video. So right here, I'm going to close that tab, and already here you can see we have our server here running. And then the other thing is we have our domain here. So already propagation we had done our propagation. So for example, if I come up here and go to manage name servers, and if you come here and open the name servers, you'll be able to see that name server are pointing to DigitalOcean. So there's one more step that you are going to do, and that is adding here on our droplet here. We are going to need to open domain here. So I'm going to add the domains here, and we are going to do that with you so that you understand. So here you can be able to see that already we actually added name servers for DigitalOcean here to do propagation, and I'm very sure by now the propagation have already taken place. So we had the other step, which was to see if our backend is running. So here I'm going to do node and then index dot uh, node index.js to see if our backend will run. And now after I do that here, you can see now our server is running and database has been connected successfully. This is the same with what we were doing locally when we were building this project. So if I come here, so event like last video, we had a problem where database was not connecting, and that was because I had limited the number of the location where you can be able to connect to this database. But I actually worked that, and you can see here, I added this part here. You can see this part. This IP, this is to say that your server or your database can be accessed from anywhere. So in the other videos, I had only these two location allowed here, or these two IP address allowed to access this database. So that's all now what I really wanted to show you. So another thing is now we can be able to connect now to our database, which we have been able to connect so successfully. So I'm going to stop this Node.js application from running. So another thing that I want now is to install PM2. So I'm going to come here to my documentation. So this is ChatGPT here. My documentation is right here. So already we have done all these steps here. So the other thing that I want to do is to install PM2. So this is our PM2, and our PM2 will be able to run our backend without us doing anything, and it will run that backend application, and also it will be able to restart even if we don't have even if our backend stops. So I'm going to copy this or even before that we can just search here PM2, what is PM2, and you'll be able to have a clear explanation what is PM2 if my explanation is not enough. So I'm going to do what is npm2 here, and you can see PM2 can refer to parallel multi-threading machine, process manager 2, or a type of particular matter. But this is, I don't think this is the clear explanation. So let me just come here. So PM2, you can see actually the usage here. So this is what I'm referring to. So PM2 runtime is a production process manager for Node.js application with a built-in load balancer. It allows you to keep applications alive forever, to reload them without downtime, and facilitate common DevOps tasks. PM2 is constantly assailed by more than 18,000 tests. So this is for helping us to run our backend like forever. And if there is any problem that will happen and our Node.js application is about to go down, then it will restart, or it will keep the Node.js backend running. So it's just like something that help us to run our backend forever. So yeah, so that is the explanation. So I'm going to copy this command here, and I'm going to come up to this point here, and I can install. I'm going to install npm in my server right here, because I want to run my backend here using PM2. So it's still running. So here you can see how you can be able to run PM2 instance. So what you are going to do is to run PM2 start, and then dash dash name. That is the name of your instance. So for example, our instance, because it's our backend, I can call it API, and then it will run index.js right here. So you can see how easy it is. And then to make sure that it is start when when you restart your computer, you can do PM2 startup Ubuntu right there, and you'll have something that will run your machine even if some things fails. So let me just come up here and see if it has installed. So yeah, you can see here this has been installed. You can see, and also you can see here npm and then install globally PM2. So it's running everywhere. So if I come up here and do something like PM2, and then I'm going to just add here PM2, and then I can say status. So if I do that, you can see there's nothing that's running. So we don't have any instance that is running. So, but for now, what I'm going to do, I'm not going to create an instance right now. I'm just going to do npm startup Ubuntu here like that. Let me come up here, and then to make sure that it will run even if everything fails. So you can see I have enabled that. And now the other thing that I need to do here is to make sure that I can run my backend using this command here. So I can copy this, and my instance for my backend, I'm going to call it API. So you can see npm2 start, and then dash dash name API here, then index.js. So if I do that now, you can see we have an API here. It's running, and this is our instance. And to show you that it's running, you can see that it's online here. So that means that our backend is running successfully. So because you can see we have run this index.js. If we had our frontend also that we want to run using npm, there is a way. So you can go and research more about npm here. That will save your life and save your sleep when maybe something might break and your application will still run. So also you can do other things like stopping. So I can do npm2, and then I can say stop. and I think I can stop using the name of that instance. So if I do that, you can see I have stopped, and also I can delete an instance. So to delete an instance, I'm going to do npm2 and then delete, and then I can delete using ID. For this case here, the ID is 0 right here. So I'm going to delete like that. So you can see I have deleted. Now we don't have any instance that is running. So if I come up here again and run status, you can see there's nothing that's running right here. So yeah, the other thing that is left, already we have gone through I think everything right here. So I don't think there's anything that is we have not done. So make sure that you created your A records. Yeah, may change your path name from router, change your environment. Okay, so the other thing that I want to do is to make sure that we are using domain. So you can see here, now we are going to try and use domains. So, but before that, we need to add domains right here in our droplets, and let's do that. So I'm going to add domain here. So remember, we have our domain here. This is our domain. This is duboisbeauty.co.ke. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to also make sure that I am adding my domain here. So I can just add it here. So that is it. I think also I need to see if this is the application or the droplet that I wanted to have this domain. So let me just go back, for example, and make sure that this is the one that I have chose. Yeah, so this is the one that I have chose because the other one has its own domain. So I have this first project here, and you can see it has its own domain if you check right here. So if I come up here now, I can add domain or domains. So I'm going to add domain here. So, and you can see we have this one here. So I'm going to add it like that. It was added, and yeah, you can see we have our domains have been added right here. You can see these are different records. So the most important record here is this A record here. So if you choose any provider for your server or wherever you're going to create your server, you find that you will have this part where you need to add domain if you have bought your domain from another provider, and you can go through their tutorials or documentation to be able to know how you do that. So another thing that we need to do right here is we are going to need to add subdomains, because remember, we are going to have subdomains, for example, for admin, and also we are going to have other also we are going to have also others for example, for an API. So to do that, you can add one by one. So for example, API, and then here you are going to choose the custom like that, and then add it like that. You can see here we have subdomains, for example, api.duboisbeauty.co.ke. Also, you adding www here, you choose the resource here, and like that. Also for admin. So these all are subdomains, and you can have as many domains as possible, and here, and then add another record here. So you can see we have these subdomains that we want to add. But what you can do is that if you want to have so many domains, also you can add asterisk. So that means that you want to have this means any subdomains, and you want to you won't need to add subdomain one by one. You only need to add asterisk, because asterisk means that it represent all, and that means that you can add any subdomains that you want in future. So I can add that too, like that, and if you do that, you can see this is asterisk and then dot duboisbeauty.co.ke. That means any subdomain. So that's all. In that case, I think now we can continue. Now we have our domain here that is pointing to DigitalOcean, and then this name servers here, you can see these are the same subdomains here. So this one means that we are pointing our domain to name servers for DigitalOcean, and after that now DigitalOcean is also pointing our domain to this specific server or this specific IP address here. So that's all now in that part. So the other part now is to make sure that our Nginx can be able to accept our domain. We are going to add configuration so that our Nginx now can be able to accept our domains here. So let's do that. So you can see how clear it is here. So let's first of all go through this after we have done this Nginx configuration here, that we have to be able to understand what we are going to do. So for example here, you can see that first thing first, we are going to have our server reasoning on port 80, and then any connection that will come along port 80, it will be directed to this domain here. So we are going to change this domain here to be our domain, which is duboisbeauty.co.ke. After that, then it will go and check in this location while www in our case is not Netflix here, it's just client, and then it will load our website or our web application. So also here it will also reason for anything that comes to port 80, and then it also will be direct here to API dot in our case it will be dubois.co.ke, and then it will just serve as a reverse proxy to be able to access this API here or our backend. Also the same for our admin dashboard. We are going to have this part here, and in this case, this will be our admin panel or admin dashboard. So it will also reason to port 80, and then it will serve with admin dot in this case it will be dubois.co.ke, and then it will reason for that we are going to serve it with code that will be in this or in this /var/www/admin. So here that means I should have let me just go back here, and I need to create another folder for admin. So let me go back here, and I can do mkdir and then do admin like that. And yeah, you can see. So if I do ls, now we have also for admin. So let me also go back to my this part here, and I can be able to check here, and let me go to beauty. No, let me go to the admin. So we have admin. So admin, this should be capital A, admin, and then inside here I need to ls. So here I can be able to run build so that we can be able to build our admin here. So it's building. I think it should not take a lot of time. So actually you can see here it's as if we don't have, it's not running. So yeah, let me just come up here and try run it here. Let me see why it's not running. Yeah, you can see we don't have of it. So first thing first you need to do is to do npm install, and it will install all packages, because remember we don't have node modules here where we store our packages, since it is in incognito. It's also in git ignore, sorry. So it's actually installing the packages that you are going to need right here, and now we can run npm run build, and it should run and build this, because remember, when we want to run a production version of the React, we need to do npm run build. So we did with our frontend, and now we need to do with for our admin dashboard right here. So it's running here. You can see transformed. Yeah, you can see that now if I come here, you'll be able to see that we have this file called dist, and this is where the files for production version of admin has been kept. So what I can do is that I can do to copy, and then I'm going to copy everything that is inside dist, and then here I think I need to do that so that I can copy everything, and then I'm going to copy to var ww and then admin, like that. So if I do that, you can see I have copied everything from this, and then I have placed it in admin right here. So if I do, let me go back to var ww and then admin, you'll be able to see that I have copied files to this folder here. So yeah, you can see we have done that. So we can be able to access now admin side. So let us first of all do the configuration now. So I'm going to copy this now, and we need to change our Nginx configuration. Let me make this larger screen. So I can check in my history where my Nginx configuration are. So I'm going to do history. This is to check all commands that I have run. So it should be grep. So let me just do here, and let me have the pipe. I don't know where the pipe is, so I think it's right here. No, okay, so history, let me just run history by itself here, and here you can be able to see that I can open this here. This is where our Nginx configuration file is located, so I'm going to copy that and I can paste it here, open my Nginx configuration right here, and I can be able to edit. So let me first of all delete everything here, because we are not going to need now anything here. We are going to just have our new configuration that has even the domains. So I'm going to remove everything as I'm doing here. So after that, now I'm going to copy now the new configuration. You can see we have done that. I'm going to come up here, and here I can be able to copy this configuration, and I'm going to paste it here. So from here now, what I can do is I can be able to change some things. For example, in our case, our domain changes here. So this was just a sample. This was just a sample configuration file to guide us. So this will be our domain, which is dubois beauty, but this one will be .co.ke, not .com. If your domain is .com, then we'll do that there. Also here it will be dubois beauty. So yeah, so we have our dubois beauty .co.ke, and then you can do dubois.co.ke, Also here for our location, it should not be, this one should be not slash Netflix, it is client. So anything that will come to this server, that is, and at port 80, the Nginx here will act as reverse proxy, and then it will also, now it will use the domain here, and it will redirect this domain to this file here for client here, where we remember in this client here, this is where we have our front end code, and then it will run that. So for the other part here now is this part where we need to change. For example, our subdomain here for our backend is remember this one should be api.duboisbeauty.co.ke. This should be .co.ke like that. And then also down here, I need to change my IP address. So this one I'm going to change to my IP address. So where is my IP address here? So my IP address is this one. So where my backend is running. So I'm going to copy that, and then I can paste it here like that. So another thing is I'm going to come up here where I have my admin. So for my admin here, I'm going to have my domain also, boys beauty, and then this also is .co.ke like that. And then here, yeah, you can see this will be admin, and then here my location for admin code is val www and then admin like that. So we have edited our configuration file for our Nginx, and you can see right here that we have everything. Like we have our admin here, we have our backend here, and we have our frontend. Remember, our frontend and our admin are consuming the same API right here. So that's all. And to save that, I'm going to do Control O like that, and then enter, and then I can be able to exit like that. So things that we need to do is, first of all, to test if our Nginx is it's okay. So I'm going also to make sure that this is not full screen. So I'm going to do Nginx -t here to make sure that it's okay. Yeah, you can see all tests are successful. The other thing is to reload. So I'm going to see here the command to reload my Nginx. So I have, let me see here. It should be, yeah, we have this status. Now I need to reload. So system ctl, and then I can do restart or reload like that. Now we need to reload our Nginx like that. So now, for example, let me try and access duboisbeauty.co.ke to see if it will load our, it will be able to load our frontend.co.ke like that, duboisbeauty.co.ke. So yeah, you can see that it's now loading our application right here. It's serving. And then the other thing that you will notice is that, for example, here, you can see it's giving us this warning here that your connection to this site is not secure. So you need to install SSL, and to be able, because if you check here, you can see we have this part here. Actually, it's not this part here. Actually, let me reload. So, but you can see this one, it's telling you that connection is secure. So we need to install, we are going to install certbot, and then be able to install SSL here so that it will be secure. But one thing also I just need to show you is that we can just see if we can access our admin. So our admin is admin.duboisbeauty.co.ke, like that. So if I do that, it should also serve as our admin dashboard. Yeah, you can see this is our admin dashboard right here. So you can see what we are doing. And then now the other thing is to install now SSL. So let's go back into this part where we have our, you can see here we have where we have our documentation. So now the other thing is to install this certbot that will help us to be able to, that will help us to install our SSL certificate. So I'm going to come up here and I can paste this. So it will install certbot like that. I'm going to say yes. Yeah, and it will install our certbot. That is installed. And also another thing is, you can see here, make sure that Nginx full is load is available. So I'm going to run UFW status. So let me come up here, let me run also UFW status, and you can see Nginx full here is ruled here and it's allowed. So that's okay now. So the other thing that now I need to do is to install. I just want you to notice that if you want to install now, because I have a certbot, you can see certbot right here. So in this case, you need to run certbot and then Nginx here, and then you can specify the domain where you want to install SSL. But in my case, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to run certbot like that. And when you do that, it will have this part where you need to enter, or actually we need to add the email here that will be able to receive a notification when the SSL is about to expire. You will be able to run this here on your own and understand. So I'm going to do .gmail.com here, and then that is my email. And then here it will ask you, please read the terms. This and that's encrypt. You must agree to register with Acme server. You are going to say yes. And another thing, would you be willing, once your first certificate is successfully installed, to share your email with the electronic frontier? You can say no. And then here you can see now the domains that you have in your Nginx, and you need to install the certificate. So I'm going to select like number one, which is duboisbeauty.co.ke, and then I can be able to enter, and you can see requesting a certificate for dubois.co.ke, like that. Yeah, and you can see it's deploying and now our dubois here. For example, if I check here and reload, you'll be able to see now our SSL has been installed. Yeah, you can see now we don't have that warning. Our connection is secure right there. So I'm going to continue with others also. Let me run certbot again. And you can see now we have the second one, which is our admin. Let me select my admin right there. And you can see the certificate also here is being installed. So after it has been installed, also we'll be able to see now, you can see it has been installed. And right here, I want you to notice when I reload, this warning will not have that warning again, because now we have installed our SSL certificate. And the other thing is we are going to also have to choose the API, which is number 3, I think. And then after that, now you can be able to, yeah, we are going to request a certificate for my API. And the last one now is number 4, which is our www.duboisbeauty.co.ke. So now I can be able also to install that certificate right here. So it's requesting a certificate for that also. And then yeah, now we have all our domain we have installed SSL certificate. So the last also thing that I want to do is to make sure that it will run by itself, and that is, or it will be able to install SSL by itself, and that is by running this command systemctl status certbot.timer. So I'm going to copy this and I can paste it here like that. So yeah, so this will run. This will be able to run our certbot daily to make sure that our certificate have not expired. So yeah, that's all in this video. So in the other video, we are going to finish up everything, because also you can be able to see here that we don't have we are not displaying our products here. Yes, we have deployed, and you can see we have our domain here, and we are having this part here, but you can see we don't have banners, we don't have our products being displayed here. And this is because uh, in our code we have not changed our endpoint or our backend to be able to consume the new API which we have already added, or the API which already we have created using our domain. So we are going to change our backend, and our backend will be api.duboisbeauty.co.ke, and I'm going to show you that in the next video, and then we are going to complete the deployment of this full stack application. So have a great day. See you on the next video.